Welcome to the Alchemy of Self, episode 2. Let's talk about what's actually happening underneath the behavior. Some of you don't shut down during conflict because you don't care. You shut down because your body learned that conflict wasn't safe. And honestly, I think this gets misunderstood constantly because from the outside, shutdown can look like avoidance, disconnection, silence, emotional distance, not caring, not communicating. But internally, a lot of people who shut down are actually feeling too much all at once. Their nervous system just doesn't know how to stay present while conflict is actually happening. And this is something that I think a lot of people carry shame around privately, especially emotionally intelligent people, because they know they're shutting down. They know they're pulling away. They know that they're going quiet. And that they know that the other person really wants communication. And the whole time they're internally thinking, why can't I just talk? Why does my brain go blank? Why do I suddenly feel trapped? Why does conflict make me feel physically overwhelmed? This was definitely me for a very long time. And this is the part that most people never really explain correctly. Shutdown is often not a conscious choice, it's a survival response. Your body learns somewhere along the way that conflict was dangerous. Not uncomfortable, dangerous. Maybe conflict growing up meant yelling or criticism, unpredictability, emotional explosion, rejection, punishment, humiliation, being ignored, walking on eggshells. Or maybe you grew up in an environment where emotions themselves didn't feel safe at all, or just weren't acknowledged at all. So now, as an adult, conflict doesn't just feel like a disagreement. Your nervous system interprets it as, I am not safe right now. And once the nervous system perceives danger, logic starts going offline. That's why some people suddenly can't think clearly. They struggle to find words or freeze. They disconnect emotionally or go numb or feel trapped or want to escape or stop communicating completely. I've literally just been frozen before. And it's not because they don't care, but because their body shifted into protection mode. And honestly, this creates a really, really painful cycle in relationships because usually the other person experiences the shutdown as abandonment. They feel ignored, rejected, dismissed, emotionally disconnected. Meanwhile, the person shutting down often feels overwhelmed, misunderstood, emotionally flooded, ashamed, guilty, and trapped inside themselves. So both people walk away hurting. And this is why self awareness alone doesn't automatically fix the pattern. Because a lot of people know they shut down, but awareness doesn't automatically create that nervous system capacity. You can understand your trauma intellectually and still have your body react automatically when emotional tension shows up. And honestly, this is where a lot of healing advice becomes useless because people will say things like, just communicate or just open up, just stay calm, just express yourself. Meanwhile, someone's nervous system is internally screaming, get out of this conversation right now. It's not because they're weak, it's because their body still associates emotional conflict with danger. And until that changes, the shutdown patterns keep activating automatically. Now, let me be clear because this part matters. Understanding why you shut down does not mean you avoid accountability for it. This isn't, well, this is just how I am. No. Because while shutdown may have started as protection, it can absolutely damage relationships if left unaddressed. People deserve communication. People deserve emotional presence. People deserve honesty. You deserve it, just like the people you're in relationships with do. But shame is usually not what helps people change this pattern. Understanding creates the possibility for change. Because once you realize my body is reacting to conflict like it's danger, you can finally stop treating yourself like you're just broken or emotionally defective. Now you actually know where the work is. And the work usually is not force yourself not to shut down. The work is, how do I help my nervous system feel safe enough to stay present during discomfort? That's different because one approach creates more shame and pressure, the other creates capacity. And capacity gets built slowly. Sometimes, first, it looks like being able to stay in the conversation 2 minutes longer. Then, maybe recognizing you're shutting down while it's happening. Then, maybe saying, I want to talk about this, but I'm getting overwhelmed. That's growth too. And honestly, I think people underestimate how vulnerable that is. Because for a lot of people, staying emotionally present during conflict feels like standing in fire without armor. So if this is something you struggle with, I don't want your takeaway to be, well, this is just my trauma response, so I can't help it. That's not empowerment. But I also don't want your takeaway to be, I'm broken because I react this way. Because you're probably not broken. Your body adapted to experiences that taught it emotional conflict wasn't safe. Now the work becomes teaching yourself something different. Teaching your body, I can survive discomfort. I can stay present without disappearing. I can communicate without losing myself. I can feel conflict without becoming unsafe. That's the shift. Because the goal isn't just to understand the pattern, it's to become someone who no longer needs it to survive. That's the alchemy. See y'all tomorrow.